looking to go super wide in Modern with $98 mono white tokens. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. And this week, we're hopping into a Modern League with mono white tokens. As you can see, 98 bucks in paper, 51 ticks on Magic Online, so super cheap compared to Modern. And we got a big new upgrade in this deck from Dominaria United in Resolute Reinforcements, another 2-drop that can put multiple bodies on the battlefield. So let's talk about our deck, what it's trying to do, jump into a Modern League, see it in action. So we start off in the 1-drop slot. Legion's Landing, Thraben Inspector. Thraben Inspector, it's essentially budget S percent, a little 1-drop that can draw us cards. Legion's Landing, really good in this deck, and makes a 1/1. More importantly, if we attack with 3 creatures, we get to flip it into a land that can make tokens, and because our deck is overflowing with 2-drops that put 2 bodies on the battlefield, our deck is pretty good at going like turn 1 Legion's Landing, turn 2 Resolute Reinforcements, or Raise the Alarm, or Gather the Townsfolk, and then flip it on turn 3, getting extra land and getting that late game resiliency of being able to make tokens with our mana base. So Resolute Reinforcements, Raise the Alarm, Gather the Townsfolk, essentially all the same card. There's little twists here and there, but they all are just 2 mana plays that put 2 1/1 bodies on the battlefield. Spectral Procession, kind of insane in a deck that has only white sources in its mana base. We get 3 1/1 Flying Spirit tokens for 3 mana, and then Secure the Waste in the late game. Sometimes it makes a bunch of tokens, but just a 1-of. So step 1, hopefully you play a 1-drop. Step 2, put 2 bodies on the battlefield on turn 2, and then step 3 is start pumping our 1/1s. One of the downsides of our deck is like every creature pretty much has 1 power, so by themselves they're not a very fast clock, but thanks to Force of Virtue, Honor of the Pure, Intangible Virtue, it's pretty easy for us to stack up an Anthem or 2, and then all of a sudden those cards that are like 2 mana make 2 1/1s are actually 2 mana make 2 3/3s or whatever if we have 2 Anthems on the battlefield, so our clock speeds up a ton. We also got 2 Venerated Loxodons, which is a little weird. On one hand, it's often a 1 mana or even 0 mana 4/4 that puts counters on the things that we can Convoke into play with. On the other hand, because it Convoke, we gotta tap down our team, so there's this weird tension of like, would we rather be attacking with our board right away to get in damage, or would we rather take a turn off, Convoke out Loxodon, grow our team, try to get in more damage next turn? So that's why it's just a 2-up, but it is very powerful when it works out. For interaction, March of Otherworldly Light gets rid of pretty much anything. Mana Tithe, no one expects it. Even Mind Sensor for the Primeval Titan decks, hits on fetch lands. In the mana base, we get a bunch of MDFCs, which are really good for pitching to Force of Virtue, and we cast them as spells sometimes, especially Cabrilla Takedown, which can just snipe pretty much anything since we have so many bodies. Chef at Dunes for more pumping, Castle Ardenvale can make tokens. In the sideboard, mostly a bunch of random white creatures. Containment Priest for decks that cheat creatures into play, especially Archon of Cruelty decks. Cathar Commando, Heliod's Intervention, get rid of artifacts and enchantments. Mind Sensor for primetime decks. Sanctifier, Auriac Champion, good against Rakdos. Giant Killer, some removal. Brave the Element saves our team. More Mana Ties because no one still expects it. And Rest in Peace to deal with graveyards. And that is Modern mono white tokens. That's our Budget Magic deck for this week. So let's jump into a Modern League and see, can 98 bucks worth of mono white tokens with help from Resolute Reinforcements actually compete against the best decks in Modern? We're gonna find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Oh yeah, need some tokens of your own? You can snag them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Budget Magic time. We are playing some mono white Resolute Reinforcements tokens in Modern, and this hand actually, double force of Virtue. This hand actually looks kind of sweet. We get to Legion's Landing, pass the turn. Next turn we can Resolute Reinforcements into Venerated Loxodon. Leonin Arbiter, eh? Opponent passes. Well, Castle Ardenvale. I think we pass. We would prefer not to get Arbitered. So we get to Force of Virtue. So I think we probably, that's gonna be interesting. Force of Virtue, pitch. Well, we'll see. Pass the turn, see what our opponent does. Opponent, Ijanu, and Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay, so we don't have to worry about getting got by, do they play around Force of Virtue? Yes, all right, so we will Resolute Reinforcements, make some dorks. Force of Virtue, pitch a Miria's Call. Force of Virtue, pitch Venerated Loxodon. Hit you, flip. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good start. Double Force of Virtue. We did pitch our entire hand, but go attacking, flip. Opponent takes 9. Yeah, kind of. Opponent said we're living the dream in there, and they're a huge fan. But yes, the Double Force of Virtue is very much living the dream for this deck. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we can see what our opponent does. The big thing about Double Force of Virtue is now our creatures are big enough that the sword can't kill them. So if our opponent's going to try to equip the sword and attack, maybe we just take it. All right, what do you got about it? What do you got? They equip the sword. In that case, I guess we just kill it. MDFCs! All right, opponent's going to path our token. Sure. Well, hopefully we draw any token maker, honestly. Literally any token maker. I mean, I guess worst case, we can make tokens with our land, so we can do something. It's a plains. Well, go to combat. We also have double token production, which is sweet. So if our opponent Ghost Quarters one of our lands, we still have the other one. Do we even play this land? Probably not. Probably better to bluff that we have another, like, reinforcement or something. All right, opponent, what do you got? Opponent, another Arbiter. And opponent just scoops it up. Okay, that works for us. That works for us. Wow, that worked somehow. I don't know how we beat this is Death and Taxes. What do we have that's good against Death and Taxes? Anything? Not really. Like, not really, period at all. Maybe Heliod's Intervention? Oh, it seems so bad, but it does technically kill a sword. Mana Tithe is bad against Ether Vial. Containment Priest, if it wasn't cast. Maybe we try Containment Priest. Containment Priest is actually kind of good against Ether Vial. So let's go down the Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe is especially bad on the draw too. It gets better on the play. Yeah, I mean, Cathar Commando is also good. Let's bring that in. Secure the Waste? Yeah, let's try it like that. I mean, that was probably a pretty fortunate draw. Double Force of Virtue and tokens to support it is not super likely. Not super likely. Well, that's a 0-lander. We will mulligan. All right, well, this will keep, I guess. More okay than great, but we'll keep it. We'll put Plains to the bottom. We might want to pitch one of these to Force of Virtue. Well, we'll see. Plains for our opponent. And there's Ether Vial. Well, Plains. Go. About it. Taking up the Vial. Ghost Quarter. Thalia. Okay. Well, let's force. Pay the 1. Pitch a Miria's Call. Untap. Play the Plains past the turn. Definitely a little worried about getting arbitered here, but I guess there's not a ton we can do about it. Thankfully, our Raise the Alarm is not a... Oh, we could double block. You know, there's too much blowout potential. We'll just take it. Down to 18. If we try to double block and then they... Are we getting arbitered? If we try to double block and then they path one of the tokens, the first strike just kind of ruins our day. No arbiter. Okay, no arbiter's good. Ooh, Spectral Procession, but we can't cast that yet. Chef at Dunes, go to combat. Hit ya. Kind of scared of Stoneforge. All right, Solitude, pitching an Arbiter. I mean, as long as this is dying, that's kind of fine. If they can blink it, are they really playing Ephemerate? If they can blink it, it's pretty bad for us. All right, well, in that case, we got to kill the Thalia. Well, it's going to depend on what our opponent's last card is, honestly. Play Solitude, we gain life. Thankfully, there was not a Stoneforge put into play. Rebounding Ephemerate doesn't really do anything. And then we'll see, hopefully the Spectral Procession will be enough. Wow, he ticked up to 3, interesting. Well, Chef at Dunes and Spectral Procession makes some 2/2s. Pass the turn. Oh no, my God, Ephemerate Tribal opponent eats a token. All right, that's not ideal. That's one way for opponent to beat all of our 2 and 3 for ones is just Ephemerate the Solitude a million times. Kind of getting MH2'd a little bit about it. Another Vial, at least that's bad. I mean, go to combat, attack. They have a flyer to Violin? Okay. Last card, Archon of Amiria. Well, that's unfortunate. Thraben Inspector, get a clue. And sack the clue. Can't play that. Pass the turn. Wow, that Archon was super good for our opponent. Well, actually, double Ephemerate Solitude to exile 5 things or whatever was super good for our opponent. The Archon was also good. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in with a flyer. Spectral Procession isn't bad. Well, go to combat. We're attacking. Please tell it. Is there another blowout here? Are we just gonna get blown out every attack by Ether Vial? All right, we actually get in damage. 1, 2, 3. Spectral Procession. Castle Ardenvale past the turn. So our opponent can kill the Castle Ardenvale, but then that opens up Legion's Landing. We could really use one more Anthem. One more Anthem would be the best. Our removal spell would also be fine. All right, so there's a Ghost Quarter. We get a Plains. New attacks. Legion's Landing. Go to combat. Do some attacking. Flip it. Only as a sorcery with Chef It dudes. So opponent gets to kill a flyer. But now we get to start making 1/1s again. Oh, nothing vialed in. Okay. Opponent vials. Hopefully we can just go wide enough to win here. Land for our opponent. 1, 2, 3. Make a token. Untap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually getting close. Well, Thraben Inspector. Get a clue. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Vile Solitude would be bad. Opponent gets a block. All right, we pass the turn. Opponent's down to 9. Can they vial anything? Oh, they get to vial a 5? Is it another Solitude? All right, another Solitude. That's our opponent's last card, though. And we are 1 land away from a Miria's Call. And a Miria's Call would be amazing here. Opponent vials. Let's see what they draw. This might be the token win. This might be the token win. The question is, do we make a 1/1 or do we crack a clue? Opponent. Oh, another vial. Do they attack? No, 1, 2, 3. Make a 1/1. We're going to keep making tokens. Untap. There's the Plains. Amiria's Call. Oh, this is so big. Go to combat. Swing with everything. Indestructible. MDFC. We got to 7 mana somehow. We got to 7 mana. We got to 7. We actually hardcast Amiria's Call. That is not part of this deck's plan. That is not part of the plan. Opponent goes to 1. Untaps. They need the best draw in the history of Magic. I don't even know what it'll be. They only got 3 lands, so they can't cast a Wrath. They're taking up all the vials. Vialtron not going to be enough. And that is whole bunch of tokens. Bunch of tokens. MDFC power could be a takedown. Amiria's Call. Woo! Sweet, 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 sweet. And opponent gives us a GG's. And yeah, that was pretty impressive. The Amiria Call MDFC win. Sweet, sweet. Budget Magic time. We are playing some mono white tokens. We are on the draw. Sand can make a lot of tokens if we draw 1 land. And we got some removal. We don't have any. Yeah, we'll mulligan it. Oh, God. All right, we mulligan into the 0-lander. Uh-oh. Well, we got lands, but not much else. We will keep Amiria's Call to the bottom. How can we possibly win this game? Well, I think we're going back to the 1-lander anyway. So I think our hope is draw land, raise the alarm, intangible virtues. Well, okay, we did not draw land. We will Thraben Inspector past the turn. I mean, I guess the other possibility is we can Virtue pitch the Raise the Alarm and then use Amiria's Call as a land. Dear Triome. Are we getting Rhinoed? We don't really have a great answer to Rhinos. Opponent. Arid Mesa cracks it. I mean, we're also on 5 cards, which is not a ton. Mountain. Oh, all right. Well, we're definitely going to need this Force of Virtue. Opponent gets back the land. Well, I mean, Force of Virtue. Pitch the Raise the Alarm. Untap. Oh, we drew the land anyway. Well, Chef It Dunes. Go to combat. Yeah, I guess we're in the Ignore Ren mode. Oh, if we had known we were going to draw land, we would have saved that Raise the Alarm past the turn. Opponent's down to 16. Untaps. Gets back the land. Passes the turn. Well, if we get Rhinoed, it's pretty bad. Raise the Alarm. Oh. All right, so this is actually indomitable creativity. We're gonna build the best Thraben Inspector of all time. Pump it. Play the tap land. Yeah, I'm not seeing a super clear pathway to winning here. So opponent Proving Grounds. Scalding Tarn. Do they have the I mean, if they have the creativity, it's over. Dwarven Mine. Looks like they do. Creativity. Get an Archon. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Thankfully, we do have a sideboard plan for this. We'll see if it's enough. But we do have a plan. Our plan is, well, Mind Sensor is just good. Containment Priest is our main plan. Maybe the Mana Tithe. I think we go down, probably the March of Otherworldly Lights. That leaves us with like no removal. I guess March, actually, let's go down to Loxodon. Maybe one Thraben Inspector. We got to keep a little bit of removal. There is a chance that we can like snag the token they're targeting. Hopefully we don't have to mulligan so much. Oh, okay, well, we're gonna keep this. Mostly because we have Containment Priest. The rest of the hand is pretty questionable, but Containment Priest is our best answer to creativity, and it could be game winning. Like, Containment Priest to fizzle the creativity, that might let us win. We'd love to draw an Anthem, I think. We saw the Wren, and the Wren's gonna be really good at sniping our tokens if we don't find an Anthem. But, well, Thraben Inspector, Old Border, go. Opponent, tap land, and passes. Hit you for 1. Pass the turn. We can flash in the Raise the Alarm. We definitely want to hold on to the Containment Priest until the big turn comes. Raise the Alarm. Untap. Opponent. Are we getting iced? Fire Ice is also pretty good against 1/1s. Yeah, Anthems seem important against what our opponent's doing. Although I guess it's just a 1-for-1. All right, kills the 2 tokens. Well, okay. Spectral Procession. Hit ya for a 1. Still need that Anthem. Our clock is still pretty slow. Opponent untaps. Oh my god, cut it out with the Fires, opponent. Good lord. Yeah, we really need that Anthem. Opponent passes. Now, Castle Ardenvale. Go to combat. Hit ya for 2. Mana Tithe might be pretty good here. Gather the townsfolk. Make some tokens. Please stop firing us, opponent. Please. Opponent cracks. So I think if our opponent just goes for creativity, I think we just Mana Tithe the first one. Because we might not be able to Mana Tithe the second one, and we can Containment Priest the second one. Wow, this is going to be sweet. Opponent. Indomitable Creativity. Yeah, I mean, Mana Tithe it. Would you like to pay the 1? Opponent does not choose to pay the 1. Unfortunately for them. Anthem. Legion's Landing. Well, we'll play the Legion's Landing. Make a dork. Go to combat. Swing with everything. Flip the Adonto. Ooh, opponent's gonna block. Okay. Well, we survived the first one. Thanks to Mana Tithe. A sweeper would be obnoxious. Wren. Okay. Gets back the land. Plays it. Well, I mean, make a 1/1. Untap. Planes, go to combat. We're going at our opponent, I think. Ignore the Wren. Hit our opponent with everything. Opponent cracks. Are they getting a chump blocker? Dwarven Mine. The scary part is our opponent is getting enough lands that they might be able to creativity and have a removal spell for Containment Priest, which would be bad. All right, Bold Thraben Inspector. Well, opponent's spending a lot of resources to kill somewhat disposable tokens. Opponent blocks. Drops to 6, we pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Can we get in these last few points of damage? It would be nice if we could win without our opponent finding out about Containment Priest. That would be ideal. Also kind of impressive we've done this without drawing an Anthem. We've just been chipping in for 1. Well, this Adonto's gonna be good, hopefully. Prismari Command. Kills a token, loots. They're just 1 by 1 picking off these tokens. So much token sniping. This does slow down our clock quite a bit. Opponent discards some cards, passes, crack the clue, make a token, go to combat, hit our, ooh, Chef at Dunes. Ooh, we're gonna slow roll that one. Go to combat, hit our opponent. Spectral Procession. Actually, I guess we got to play this Chef at Dudes. Pass the turn. All right, this is the big turn. Does our opponent find a sweeper? Oh, we got there. We got there. Creativity. Mana Tithe them. We Mana Tithe them. Oh, do we want a Giant Killer? I guess Giant Killer is technically an answer. Maybe we go down a Mind Sensor on the draw. Mind Sensor is 3 mana and it still dies to Wren if we don't have an answer or an Anthem. All right, opponent's on the play. That was impressive though. I mean, the deck's showing that it can kind of keep up with some of the best decks in Modern. We could use more token production, but we got the Mana Tithe, so yeah, we'll keep. Opponent, tap land, and passes. Well, play the land, play Thraben Inspector, Pass the turn. And then we're probably just going to pitch a Miri's Call and get this force down. Opponent. Steam Vents. Untapped. Well, if our opponent's going to leave a blue mana, maybe not. All right, play the land. Go to combat. Hit you with a Thraben Inspector. Yeah, play Legion's Landing. All right, opponent's going to spend their Spell Pierce. Sure. Well, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Yeah, token would have been helpful. Boseiju. And Ren. Okay, but nothing to get back. Sure. Takes up the Ren. Opponent is playing around the mana Tithe to some extent. Well, Force of Virtue. Pump the Dorks. Ooh, Containment Priest. Go to combat. Yeah, I mean, I guess this Ren just gets to live for now, unfortunately. Hit ya. Containment Priest is kind of sweet. If our opponent goes for it, they don't have enough lands. Wow, takes up red. Opponent gonna pass. Well, I mean, sack the clue, draw a card. Untap. Could use some token production. Opponent's going to ice a land. Okay. How do we do this? I'll play the land, go to combat. I think we do have to hit the Ren this turn, unfortunately. Hit the Ren. All right, there's the fetch land. So our opponent does get to start doing their stuff. Down to 14. Gets a Triumph. Gets back the land for next turn. Opponent gonna pass. Tokens. Tokens. We need a way to make tokens. Are we icing again? All right, opponent ices another land. We draw a useless Plains. Well, hit our opponent down to 12. All right, so we still have multiple answers if our opponent goes for the combo. Dwarven Mine. Like, we can Cabrilla take down the token. The Mana Tithe is getting worse. Opponent takes up red. Passes. We untap. Well, play Legion's Landing. That's a token at least. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. Takes it to 10. Can we play enough defense? Opponent untaps. You know they're going to be going for it at some point. You know they're going to be going for it. Probably this turn. Okay, Dwarven Mine. 2 tokens. Creativity. Containment Priest. How we feeling about that? Sure. Exile some Archons. Exile some Archons. Opponent. Passing. Honor the Pure. Is this lethal? Oh, we got him. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Our sideboard plan, Mana Tithe, Containment Priest. We did it. It's working. It's working. I feel like I never beat creativity, and we managed to do it with Thraben Inspector, Mana Tithe, and some janky tokens. Sweet, sweet. Budget magic time. Playing some more Mono White tokens in Modern, and we'll keep this. We technically have a lot of lands, but many of them are MDFCs. I mean, we got an Anthem, removal, some tokens. Gonna need more tokens, but this is fine-ish. And we're on the play, which is nice. Nice little bonus. Tap land, go. Scalding Tarn cracks it. Steam Vents, untap, 17, and Ragavan. Well, thankfully these Raise the Alarm should be okay at stopping Ragavan. Or maybe it's better just to march it. What is our plan here? So we can token chump. We can just march of Otherworldly Light. We don't want to get hit by it, that's for sure. Let's just exile it. Pass turn. Do it during our turn so we don't get counterspelled. Snoo, cover island, and Ledger Shredder. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, and a bobble to connive. Uh-oh. Well, maybe we should have held on to the march. Opponent cracks a bobble, takes a big. Not good. Not good. What do we draw? Sheffit Dunes. Play the Plains. Play Raise the Alarm. Main phase. Pass the turn. Opponent. Well, how do we do about this Ledger Shredder? Misty Rainforest. Yeah, this is looking grim. We've actually drawn a lot of lands this game, haven't we? If you count these Amirius calls as lands, which we only have 21 lands, including our MDFCs, we've drawn a lot. What do you got? So we really need something that makes tokens. If we can play like another Raise the Alarm plus Intangible Virtue, we could be in business. I guess there's some slim chance that we actually get to the point of, wow, opponent passes. Oh my God, another land. Well, I mean, Intangible Virtue, might as well. But we still can't really attack. I'll pass the turn. Opponent, gonna bolt a token. More lands. Dragon Rage Channeler. Oh, and it's turned on. Oh dear. Opponent getting frisky. Down to 18. Oh no. Well, okay. Oh my goodness. Really drawing the lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 11. Hi. Opponent goes to combat. Well, it looks like our budget token luck might have run out on this one. Down to 13. Opponent. Oh, this is Ragavan. Okay, that's good. Resolute Reinforcements. Well, play the land. Go attacking. Ha Damage will maybe be dealt. Opponent gonna block with the Ragavan. Well, we will pass the turn. So I guess there's some miracle world where Amiria's Call resolves and it's good. Opponent bobbles their veils. I mean, I guess that's our flat out protection we got some token producing lands and Sheffet dudes. And also, like, if we flat out hard enough, we can try to cast Amiria's Calls. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent hits us for a bunch. Possible that we should have played a tap land to save some damage. If our opponent has a counter, we're pretty much just immediately dead. Well, Resolute Reinforcements. I think we're literally immediately dead because we got to bold ourselves here. All right, they spend the counter on Resolute Reinforcements. Surveils to the top. Connives away a Blood Moon. Well, we'll see. What do we draw? Opponent gets to draw. Well, okay, wow. Oh my goodness. All right, we might have to bring out the calculator for this one. Well, Amiria's Call, you got another counter? Just like we drew it up. Oh, they do have another counter? Okay, consider. That's not a counter though. This does let our opponent dig. Oh, counterspell in the graveyard. Okay, they're trying to find Spell Pierce, I guess? All right. Well, those are 2 5/5s. I mean, those are big angels, although Unholy Heat can still kill them. Unholy Heat, Connives. Opponent's seen like 12 more cards than us, and we have seen only lands. Oh, they leave it on top. Oh, geez. Okay, that's gotta be the death of us. About it. Taps. Unholy Heat number 2, tap land. This Ledger Shredder is beating our angel token at the moment. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, I mean, block the DRC, drop to 4, or maybe dead. Lightning Bolt. Okay, so they kill the angel. They surveil. Well, I mean, we do have another Amiria's Call. Technically. Opponent's last card. Well, it's not a counter because they're trying to cast. Oh my god, it's a Murktide. So I think that means we're dead anyway. Yeah, it's an 8/8. Spectral Procession. Yeah, Murktide's busted, isn't it? Yeah, this makes us... So we make 1/1s, double chump block, Amiria's Call. I mean, we won't really scoop, but this is a really bad spot to be in. All right, pass the turn. How many lands do we draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Mishra's Bobble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Opponent takes peek. So we got a double chump block here. Well, we slogged through a lot of Modern Horizons 2 cards. Was not enough for us to win the game, but we did slog through a lot, and we drew a lot of lands, and we didn't just immediately lose. Force. All right. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amiria's Call. Number 2. Go to combat. Hit you with the token. Opponent. Expressive Iteration. That should find something. Well, I mean, we fought a good fight against the best deck in Modern. Despite the epic flood. Opponent finds Unholy Heat, and that actually does just win the game. Is it, ladies and gentlemen? Is it? Well, Giant Killer seems good. Rest in Peace is good. I guess Sanctifier, maybe? Is Mana Tithe good enough? Trim. Yeah, we'll keep the Mana Tides. Let's try it like that. We get to play first. Well, less lands. I like that we drew less lands. Play the land. Legion's Landing. Yeah. So the question is, do we just immediately pitch the Mana Tithe? Probably. All right, so opponent, Dragonrite Channeler. I think we're just going to pitch the Mana Tithe for Force of Virtue. There's the Bobble to Surveil. Leaves it on top. Well, Force of Virtue, pitch the Mana Tithe. Untap. Land. Sanctifier and Vec. Hit you for 2. I mean, this isn't a bad start. Down to 16. The Sanctifier should be able to do some work here. Wow, cracks the Bobble. Okay, after seeing what they draw, because they have the fetch land, cracks the fetch land, Snoo covered island, and Ledger Shredder. New. Opponent passes. Draws a card. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. See if our opponent spends any mana. No. Well, okay, Honor of the Pure. This is what we want to get countered last. So I know it looks weird to play this post-combat, but we're hoping that our opponent like bolts a token or something to clear the way for us to actually resolve Honor of the Pure. Because if they're passing with 2 mana up, there's a pretty good chance that they have Counterspell or something similar. Opponent. All right, gonna bounce the Honor of the Pure. Okay, leaves a card on top. I mean, we're at 24 and our opponent's at 10. Steam Vents. Just kidding, 24 to 8. Would you like to Blood Moon us, opponent? Gonna Lightning Bolt the token and Surveil. But can you stop the Sanctifier? That's the real question. Passes. I mean, now we're gonna play the Honor of the Pure. There's the counter spell that we mostly knew about. This is kind of big for our opponent because it's actually a card that stays on the graveyard. So they're getting enough cards that they're going to be able to get a Murktide into play. Well, hit ya. Down to 5. Can we close it out? Opponent untaps. Is it Murktide time? Considers their Veils. We could really use another land for Spectral Procession. That would be big. If our opponent taps out for Murktide, we really need to punish them on the backswing, which the best would be Spectral Procession. Gather the Town Folks is okay. Opponent hits us for 1. Land untapped. Raise the Alarm. Well, we will gather the townsfolk. Pass the turn. Opponent. Ledger Shredder. Stacking up those blue cards. And consider to do all the surveilling. Oy. Oh, are we going to end up short of getting through these last points of damage? Last game we drew all the lands. This game, none of the lands. Passes. Well, there's the land. I think we pass, raise the alarm on our opponent's turn. And if they counter that, it should clear the way for Spectral Procession to resolve. That's the game plan. Spectral Procession is the more important of the two. All right, opponent more considers. Leaves the card on top, unfortunately. Expressive Iteration. Well, I mean, raise the alarm. Make some tokens. If we can go wide enough, we can kill our opponent through their board. That's what we're trying to set up. We're close. Expressive Iteration about it. An attack will also flip the Legion's Landing. Gets a fetch. Plays it. Opponent passing. We draw. Resolute Reinforcements. All right, so we will once again pass the turn. The problem with all this is if our opponent finds something like Anger the Gods, it is a blowout. Opponent, gonna bolt a token. Surveil. Gets rid of Flusterstorm. Untaps. Bobble. Surveil. The funny thing is if our opponent ever turns on this Dragon Rage Channeler, it's actually pretty bad for them. Which means a creature going in the graveyard, like if they have to attack with the DRC, that's a 1 less blocker for our opponent. Opponent passes, well, Resolute Reinforcements. Makes some dorks. Draws a card. Oh, do we go for it? So if we attack, block, 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 kill. Yeah, I think we have to still pass. Oh, we're so close and yet so far. Very worried about our opponent finding a sweeper. That is the nightmare. Swings with everything. Just kidding. Scalding Tarn. Well, Resolute Reinforcements. This means we're going for it if this resolves. Opponent. Oh, dress down. So that means we only get 1 creature off of this. All right, we untap. Block, block, block. Oh, we gotta go for it. We gotta go for it. All right, swing with everything. Something's gonna happen here. Something's gonna happen. Okay, opponent did not have the answer. So opponent needed to have double removal, right? So they block 1, block 2, block 3. They need to have double removal without cracking a fetch land. We managed to get off to a fast enough start that we could overcome the Murktide somehow, some way. Do we want to brave the elements? Is that worth it? We didn't see a sweeper. They probably don't play a lot of sweepers, but they could have some. You know what? Let's go up 1 brave the elements, down 1 mana tithe. Like I said, mana tithe I think gets worse when you're on the draw. All right, can we beat Murktide on the draw for the miraculous win? We'll keep this. No anthems, unfortunately, but we'll see. Opponent, Spirebluff Canal, and please no Ragavan. Ragavan. Okay, that's bad news. And a bobble. And a cracking of the bobble. I mean, if our opponent has to spend a removal spell on our Legion landing token, I guess that's sort of a very small win. And it should open it up for Sanctifier to come down next turn. I mean, if they just attack, we will definitely block. Sure, kill that Ragavan. Out of here, monkey. Opponent cracks a Scalding Tarn. Steam Vents, untapped. Ragavan. And DRC. All right. Oh my god, and another Bobble to Surveil. Leaves it on top. Cracks it to take a peek. Yeah, let's Amirius Call untapped. Ouch. Sanctifier. Sanctifier is still decent. Sanctifier helps. That means we shouldn't be getting hit by Ragavan. I guess if they have Brazen Bar where they can like bounce it for a turn, but... And then Giant Killer is kind of a... Wow, they're going to do so much surveilling. It's kind of a sneaky answer to Murktide. Opponent passes. Ooh, Cabrita takedown. Well, Amirius Call tapped. I don't think we want to attack this turn. Yeah, I think we just pass for now. Opponent untaps. Sanctifier holding down the fort. All right, opponent finds a land. Well, Resolute Reinforcements. Are we getting countered? No. All right, untap. Play the planes, go to combat. Yeah, I mean, we're going to do it. We're going to flip this Legion's Landing. Flip the Legion's Landing is just going to take it. We do want to avoid getting hit by Ragavan. We can make a token. Yeah, let's just gather the townsfolk. Unholy Heat, going to kill a token. Yeah. Do a bunch of surveilling. Sure. At this point, I'm not sure that turning on and Flusterstorm. But we can pay, right? Pay the one. Opponent gets to surveil. Opponent's got a 1 card in hand as well. Surveils. Pay the 1. All right, gather the townsfolk, make a couple dorks. Pass the turn. We might not be in that bad of shape here somehow. Opponent, land, still just 1 card. If it's a Murktide, we got the answer in hand. It's a Murktide, but we got the answer in hand. Opponent passes. Oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3. Let's chop down this Murktide Regent. Go to combat, swing with the crew. Opponent takes it, play the land, Spectral Procession. And this is it. Opponent got to draw a sweeper. They got to draw a sweeper. Opponent untaps. Did they top deck a way out of it? Or did we just beat the best deck in Modern? Opponent combat, passing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sack Sheffet dudes. Pump them. Go to combat, swing with everything. Opponent. Unholy Heat. Does some surveilling. Oh, and it turns on the Dragon Rage Channelers. All right, that was a big hit for our opponent, but I still don't think this works long term. So opponent gets to kill 2 tokens. The problem for our opponent is they're going to have to attack this turn. So they go to 1. They lose the Ragavan. Well, we'll play the Giant Killer. But now the Dragon Rage Channelers have to attack. So opponent needs something like Dress Down to stay on defense, and I don't even think that does it. Are we going 3-0 in a Modern League with $100 tokens against the best decks of the format? Is this deck legit? Oh, we got the GG. Lightning bolts our face, but it doesn't matter. We assembled lethal. The 1/1s come through against the monstrous Murktide. Wow, best deck in the format. Opponent hits us, sure. That's fine, but 0 cards in hand. We untap. We don't got to do anything. All we got to do is not misclick. Swing with the team and got him. 3-0. The kids are eating tonight. Maybe we broke it. I know we always say that, but maybe this time we really did. Sweet. Budget magic time. We are playing some more mono white tokens in Modern. So far, so good. We're somehow 3-0 in a Modern League with our super cheap token deck. Are we keeping this? On the draw, Aven Mind Sensor, 5 lands. I think we mulligan. All right, this is a lot more action. I like the more action. So we're gonna keep, what do we put to the bottom is a question. In a perfect world, we turn 2 Resolute Reinforcements, I guess. Turn 3 Spectral Procession and Convoke Loxodon. Yeah, let's try it. Let's be greedy. Let's be a little greedy. Monastery Swiftspear. All right, opponent burning us. We'll see how this goes. Opponent gets and hits us. Sure. So this plan does require us drawing a land. I guess if we don't draw a land, we can like start pitching stuff to force. Oh, If our opponent, oh, okay, oh my goodness, okay, we gotta do this. All right, we take it. There's a chance we can get a blowout with this Resolute Reinforcements next turn if our opponent doesn't have lands. Oh, this is interesting. Do we draw land? No, Legion's Landing. Oh, all right, play the land past the turn. We'll see. We'll see what our opponent does. We might start pitching stuff to Force of Virtues. If they just play a creature, oh, it's a Lava Spike, okay. There's a Lava Spike. Down to 14. Down to 10. That's not a lot of life. Well, Resolute Reinforcements. Untap land? Oh, Spectral Procession. That's not what we were looking for. Well, in that case, Legion's Landing. Pass the turn. Well, now we might be pitching a bunch of stuff to Force of Virtues. We might be off the Loxodon plan. Wow, we might be pitching everything to Force of Virtues. Lava Spike. Down to 7. Well, yeah, so we will block and block. Here goes the hand, but this is probably worth it. Force of Virtue, pitch Venerated Loxodon. Force of Virtue, pitch Spectral Procession. No one expects double Force of Virtue. Kill the board. Go back up to 10. Untap. Swing with a crew. Flip Legion's Landing. And yeah, I mean, we just go for lethal. Spectral Procession. Pretty good. 3 flyers for 3. And wow. Well, our opponent got stuck on one land, but we found a way through. Scoops it up. That's huge. That is huge because now we get to bring in 2 Sanctifiers in Vec, an Auriok Champion, and a Heliod's Intervention. We get to bring in some really good cards for this matchup. Really, really, really good. Probably the Venerated Loxodons, honestly. Secure the Waste is a bit expensive. Mind Sensor's a bit expensive. Running like that. The problem with Loxodon is to get its advantage, we need to tap our team, and I don't know if we can afford to do that against our opponent's deck. Oh, that double Force of Virtue turn. Yes, we discarded pretty much our entire hand, but it worked. Oh, 5 lands. 5 lands, none of our good cards for the matchup. I think we just mulligan. Cool, all right, well, this will keep. We'll put 1 March to the bottom, I guess, and, well, we'll see. Opponent, Scalding Tarn, and passes. Now, planes go. Tithe. Shh, don't tell him. Sacred Foundry tapped. We will Mana Tithe literally anything we get a chance to Mana Tithe here. Eidolon would be the sweetest, but if we get a chance, ooh, untap land, Eidolon, Swift Spear, sure, that resolves. And Lava Spike. I mean, I think we might as well just do it. Get the value while we can. It essentially gains us 3 life. And 1 card to gain 3 life against burn is actually kind of fine. Gets and hits us. Down to 18. Ooh, Spectral Procession. Well, Castle Ardenvale, go. Sand could use an Anthem. That's the biggest thing we're missing. Also, a pro-red thing would be sweet. Well, let's see what our opponent does. We can kill the Swift Spear, or we can flash in the Reinforcements. Would like to avoid bolting ourselves. Next turn, we'll see. We're still at 18. Opponent's only got 1 creature. We got some removal. We're not in bad shape here. I think we've put the Fear of God in our opponent with this Mana Tithe. I think maybe our opponent does have like the Eidolon or something, and they're worried that we're gonna get him again. I think there's kind of a double whammy with Mana Tithe, because not only do you get your thing countered, but you know that I'm gonna be loving it, and we're gonna be cheering about it on the YouTube, because we do like getting people with that card. Roiling Vortex. Well, I mean, I guess we just kill the Swift Spear here then. And Lava Spike. All right, March of Otherworldly Light. Get rid of the Swift Spear. I guess this does hit our free Anthem, doesn't it? Well, untap land, we get to Spectral Procession. Tap land, if we don't draw an untap land, I think we just play this tapped and in Reinforcements. All right, we get pinged. Thraben Inspector. Well, Amiria's Call. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent gets pinged. Well, at least everyone's getting pinged. And we're not trying to gain life at the moment anyway. Sunbake Canyon. Wow, Insta-Crack. Swift Spear. If they just hit us for 1, I think we take it. Yeah, we'll take 1. Take 1. Run out the Reinforcements. Untap. Get pinged. Go to combat. Hit ya for 2. And Thraben Inspector. Pass the turn. Opponent down to 13. Another land, but it can draw a card. Searing Blaze, gonna hit our Thraben Inspector. Ouch. The question is, do we need to kill this Roiling Vortex? That's the real question. I do think we need to block this Swift Spear. Resolute Reinforcements. Make a dork. Block the Swift Spear. Oh, double Searing Blaze. Okay. Well, we dropped to 6, 5. Gonna be close. Opponent is temporarily out of cards, but they do have the Eyelet. So we dropped to 5. Well, 1, 2, 3. Spectral Procession. Hit you down to 10. I mean, at this point, we're still basically in race mode. I don't know if we can win the race or not. Gonna depend on how much burn our opponent can draw. All right, cracks the land, draws a card. The double Searing Blaze was huge for our opponent. Another redraw land. So many redraws. Opponent's flooded, but they flooded in a way that keeps drawing them cards. Passes. We get pinged to 4. Well, go to combat. Hit you with the flyers. Wow, this is ridiculously close. Drops to 6, soon to be 5. This does put us in bolt range though, and because of Roiling Vortex, we can't gain life with this Heliod's intervention. We need our opponent to have 0 bolts. Bolt, down to 1. So they have another one. Because we can kill the Vortex. Oh, all right. Yeah, that does do it. Wow, that was super close. We never hit the Anthem. Good news is we're on the play for game number 3. We're on the play for game number 3, and we almost had it. Being on the play should be helpful here. We get to play first. Well, we can make a lot of 1/1s. I think we need to lead on a tap land though. Cabrilla takedown, go. Thankfully, we can do a lot of playing at instant speed. Would love to draw an Anthem. That would be our best draw opponent. Goblin Guiderino. Gonna get in for 2. Free land? No. Amiria's Call. Well, play the land, pass the turn. All right, we'll see. Anthem. Can we get an Anthem? Opponent. I think we gotta take the hit again here, awkwardly. Goes attacking. Top card. Legion's Landing. Yeah, we'll take it. Down to 16. We'll see what our opponent does. Monastery Swift Spear. Ooh, the 1-lander. Well, we will raise the alarm. Make some tokens. Untap. Play Amiria's Call tapped. Play Legion's Landing. Pass the turn. So we can counter something here. So I think we take the beats one more time, as frightening as this is. Top card. Auriok Champion. That's actually pretty sweet. Yes, we will take it. Down to 13 for the moment. Swift Spear. Well, we're going to mana tithe it. Got him. Opponent passes. Oh, this is big. This is so big. We get to go to combat. We get to attack. This lets us flip our Legion's Landing. We gain a life with the lifelinker. We get to play the Auriok Champion with protection and to start gaining more life. And now we can flash in Resolute Reinforcements, and that's going to gain us a bunch of life. Oh, 4-0. We're 4-0 in a league. We got the GG. Opponent said I never learned not to keep 1-landers, and or no, today I learned never to keep 1-landers. I've never learned that. Wow, we're doing it. All right, one more. Let's see if we can get a 5-0 with our budget deck. All right, sweet. Be right back. Budget magic time. Going for the 5-0. Somehow. 1 land, but we got 2 mana ties, so keep it. We do need to draw land though, seriously. But if we draw land, this hand's actually kind of sweet. We got the Force, Chef at Dunes, and the unbeatable Thraben Inspector. Go. What are you doing to us? Well, we'll pass the turn. Land number 2, off the top. Black Cleave Cliffs. Opponent going to pass. Land? There's the land. So go to combat. Hit our opponent with Thraben Inspector. Gather up some town folks. Pass the turn. Okay, bolts the Thraben Inspector. Yeah, can't really stop that. Bloodstained Mire cracks it. Swamp and Magmatic Channeler. I'll force. Pitch a mana tithe. Untap. Legion Landing. Go attacking. Hit you for 2. Pass the turn. We could really use this Legion's Landing flipping to cast a Spectral Procession. No one really expects a second mana tithe. I think we just counter it. Got him. Bloodstained Mire. All right, do we get the flip? Go to combat. Swing. Flip. Opponent blocks. Well, I mean, we're going for it. 1, 2, and 3. Spectral Procession. Your go. About it. No sweepers. No sweepers. No anger of the gods. Nothing like that. Just accept your demise. If they have a sweeper, it's pretty bad for us. Although we got a clue and we got an Adonto, so it's not like game over, but we're actually pretty close. Wow, and that's a win. And that's a win. What is our opponent doing? I wish I knew. We didn't see much of our opponent's deck. I think this is where we take out the mana ties. We bring in all the pro Rakdos stuff for sure. Go down Mind Sensor. Go down the mana tithes. Maybe Rips. Do we want the Rest in Pieces? Rest in Peace over Loxodon. Rest in Peace over Secure the Waste. Try it like that. Yeah, try it like that. See what happens. So I feel like now that we got our opponent with Mana Tithe and we pitch one to the Force of Virtue, our opponent's probably going to have the fear. And that's part of the value of Mana Tithe, is you get someone with it once, and then they play around it for the rest of eternity, even though they probably shouldn't. Yeah, this hand's too risky. I mean, we got 2 1-drops, but we got to bolt ourselves. Yeah, we're just going to mulligan. All right, we'll keep this. We'll put a probably March to the bottom. Hopefully we don't get Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize on a Miria's Call, and then not drawing another land would be bad. All right, no Thoughtseize. Well, in that case, Legion's Landing, go. In that case, we do another land anyway, so now we might just pitch the Miria's Call to Force of Virtue. We'll see what our opponent does. Black Cleave Cliffs. We could use our Pro Rakdos stuff. That would be super helpful. Do Thivo Aidwaka. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, force pitch Miria's Call. Grow the token. Opponent passes. I'll play the land. Hit you for 2. Pass the turn. Sacred Foundry for our opponent. Untapped. Gets and hits us. Down to 19. Well, I mean, raise the alarm. Make some dorks. All right. I mean, Fatal Pushing Tokens is kind of a win for us. And Thrill a Possibility to draw a couple cards. Well, we would like to keep drawing action. We draw. Oh, so close. Well, 1, 2. Let's just Honor the Pure. Hit ya for 6. Oh, come on. Land for Spectral Procession. Land for Spectral Procession. Wow, sacks the Voidwalker. So opponent wants the Raise the Alarm. Okay. They just want to chump blockers? Ooh, all right. That's actually annoying. Temporary Lockdown and Erase the Alarm. Okay, that was a decent turn for our opponent. Can we... Wow, that's actually like a huge blowout for our deck. Can we draw land for Spectral Procession? We can. All right, well... I mean, hopefully there's not more temporary lockdowns. Make some spirits pass the turn. Down to 9. How many answers do they have? Snow-covered plains. Paths a token thins the deck. Opponent untaps. Can we close it out? Opponent. Prismatic Ending's a token. And Seasoned Pyromancer to refuel. That's not ideal. All right, deck. Action. Action, please. Action, please. Opponent passes. That's pretty good. Sanctifier and Vec. Rest in Peace. Hit you for 2. They do have white removal. And they do have temporary lockdown, which, yay. Lingering Souls. All right, make some dorks. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Show us a Spectral Procession. That would be the best. Well, I mean, I guess a land's not the worst because it turns on Castle Arden Vale. Get in with the Spirit. Blocks. All right. Magmatic Channeler. Passing. Well, make a 2/2. Untap. I mean, I guess we get in, right? They can only block with the soldiers. Yeah, get in with Sanctifier. Opponent takes it. Well, we'll pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Oh, we are so close. We are so close to the 5-0. Wow, they find the path. That's a huge draw for our opponent. Okay, we get a plains. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in with Seasoned Pyromancer. We'll take it. We could use another token producer. That would be spectacular. Well, make a token. Untap. Well, Sanctifier. Actually, let's Intangible Virtue. Go to combat attack. Blocks, blocks, blocks. Drops to 1. Sanctifier and Vec. They need more white removal. Pass the turn. Is this the 5-0 dream? Opponent untaps. Budget Magic 5-0? Opponent, Desperation discard, discards a land, gets to look at 2 cards. Turok doesn't do it. Marsh Flats doesn't do it. Game? 5-0? 5-0? Is that the 5-0? They need an answer to the Sanctifier. Season Pyromancer. Gonna try to draw to see if they can hit a white removal spell or else they're dead. Did they find it? They did not. That's a GG's. That's a GG's and that's a Budget Magic 5-0. Yes. Wow. We do not get very many 5-0s on Budget Magic in modern leagues, but we did. We did it this time. We did it this time. Literally 5-0. Did not drop around with $100 mono white tokens. And you know what that means? That means we get to crack open sub treasure chests. 11 treasure chests. 11. All right. Yeah, let's do some treasure chest gambling. Oh, well, let's open these silly promo packs. I actually like the sweet lands you get in the promo packs, but the real payoff. All right, treasure chest 1 of 11 for our Budget Magic 5-0. Furyborn Hellkite. Big but not good. Nether Spirit. Little but still not that good. All right, not a great chest. Well, let's hit some value at least. Sarah Redeemer and some play points. All right. Whiff number 2. That's all right. We got 9 more to go. 9 more. Yara is a sweet card, but not worth anything. Abyssal Nocturnus might have been sweet like 15 years ago, but not so much anymore. All right, 8 more to go. We're gonna, oh, there's the money. There's the money. That's a good one. Force Negation, I think, is valuable. And this is a special version of it, to the point where I've never even seen anyone play that one. How much is Force Negation, according to GoatBots? Well, I guess it's only 12. 13 bucks. I mean, that's a great chest. Not gonna complain about a $13 Force Negation. All right, 7 more to go. Memoricide. This has just gotten power crept by other similar things. Sunbird's Invocation is fun. Oh, we had some fun standard decks with that card. Nira. Wild Mage. Haven't seen anyone play that one yet. It's a somewhat interesting commander. I'll crack it. Simic Sky Swallower. OG Finisher. Ogre Headhelm. 4 to go. Gibson Given. Heartmender. I love the art on this. Rebecca Gay art's so good. Oh, it's so good. All right, well, crack it. What do we get now? Sun Gold Sentinel. Crack it. Ooh, Fury. Fury's gotta be worth something. I wonder about the background. Flaming Fist. Let's check the cheap one first. Flaming Fist, 2 cents. Fury, though. Ooh, that's our best open yet. Promo Fury, 34 wigwams. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Well, Force Negation, End of Fury, 1 chest to go. Shally. Temrite Calls the Dead. Well, I'm gonna call that a successful Budget Magic. We went 5-0 in a modern league with a $100 mono white token deck. We beat a lot of tier decks along the way, and then we opened a Fury and a Force Negation in our treasure chest. Honestly, I don't know what else to say about this. The deck kind of crushed it. You saw it happen in person, the Budget Magic 5-0 in a modern league. So, I mean, play your tokens, flip your Legion's landings, hope you draw your anthems, and beat them down. Seems like a pretty good option. Well, anyway. It's been our Budget Magic for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.